Let's talk about something we didn't talk about it enough. The pressure to be strong, to hold all together, to keep smiling while you're breaking from inside. Because somewhere along the way you learned that weakness was dangerous. You learned that if you fall apart, people will leave. If you cry, you make others uncomfortable. If you ask for help, you become a burden. So in these moments, you learn how to hold your breath, to fix yourself before anyone notices you're bleeding, to say I'm fine, but you're anything but fine. And over time, it becomes a habit. You become the strong one, the one who keeps the peace, the one who carries others, the one who holds the world up even when yours falling down. But here's the thing that you cannot understand. When you're becoming everyone's safe place, you forgot what it feels like to have one of your own. And I need you to hear this. You are not supposed to be unbreakable. You are supposed to be real. Strength looks noble, right? But sometimes strength is just fear wearing armor. Fear of being seen, fear of being too much, fear of being disappointed again. You call it resilience, but really it is survival. You learn to harden because life kept proving softness wasn't safe. So you learn to smile through ache, to make jokes about your pain, to say it doesn't matter, but the reality, it does all the time. And you know what? You did it so good that even the people closest to you stopped checking if you were okay. Because you trained them to do not ask. You trained them to believe that you didn't need anything. But deep down, you do. We all do. You know what is wild? People pleasing looks like love. But actually, it is fear in disguise. You didn't say yes because you want to. You say yes because you're scared of what will happen if you don't. You think keeping the peace will keep you safe, but every time you silence yourself, you teach your body that your truth is dangerous. You think you're being kind, but what you're really doing is just disappearing. You're trading your voice for approval, your boundaries for belonging, your peace for proximity. And the worst part is, the world starts to laugh the version of you that even it is not real. The version of you that bends, that smiles through pain, that never says, that hurt me. But you know, you can't keep doing that. Because every time you choose comfort for someone else, you abandon the one person that needs your loyalty the most. And that is you. So, this is your wake-up call. You didn't owe anyone silence to be loved. You didn't owe anyone your smallness to be safe. Love doesn't require you to disappear. It requires you to show up. Let me tell you, healing doesn't come from pretending that you are okay. It comes from finally admitting that you are not okay anymore. It comes from the breakdowns you try to avoid. The nights you couldn't hold it in anymore. The mornings you didn't want to get up, but you did it anyway. Healing doesn't look like strong. It looks quiet. It looks messy. It looks like learning to sit with what hurts you instead of running away from it. And you know that's not weakness. That is courage. That is a strength without performance. You have spent so long being the one who holds everything together. You forgot what it feels like to be held. You give until you're empty. Then you tell yourself it is noble to not never need anything back. You mistake exhaustion for peace. You mistake numbness for calm. But it is not peace if you have to disappear to maintain it. And here's the truth. You're allowed to fall apart. You're allowed to have not all of the answers. You're allowed to let someone else to be strong for you. You have earned rest. Not because you have done enough, but because you are enough. Let me tell you, there's come a day when pretending doesn't work anymore. The day when your body starts shaking from the weight of what you have carried. When your soul whispers, please no more performing. And yes, you have two choices. You can numb it again, bury yourself in distractions, achievements, performance, perfection, or you can finally listen. You can finally let yourself to be human again. And that is terrifying, I know. Because being human means being seen. It means risking disappointment. It means letting go of the armor you have worn your whole life. But you can't connect through armor. You can't be loved through a mask. People can only love you what you can show them. And if all you ever show is a strength, you will spend your whole life surrounded by people who admired you, but never knew you, never sees you, never heard you. Real strength is not never breaking. It is learning that you can break and rebuild it again. It is crying without shame, asking for help without guilt. It is knowing that being soft doesn't make you weak. It makes you whole. Because when you stop performing strength, you make a space for something deeper. Peace, connection, belonging. You stop surviving and finally you start living. Let me ask you, who are you when you are not strong? When you are not holding it all together? When you finally let yourself to feel what you have been running away from? The one beneath the armor, the one beneath the perfection, the one beneath I have got this, that version of you that the world needs the most. And maybe, just maybe, it is time to stop proving how strong you are and start remembering how human you are. Strength is not the obsession of pain. It is the courage to feel it and still stay open. Put the armor down. You have carried it all along the way. You didn't need to be strong all the time. You need to be real. So, where do you go from here? How do you actually unlearn survival mode? How do you start feeling safe in your own skin again? Because after years of holding everything in, after years of being the strong one, the thought of being seen, truly seen, can feel terrifying. It is not that you didn't want connection, you do. It is that your nervous system still believes that connection equals danger. You see, survival mode teaches you something sneaky. It tells you that control is safety, that if you can predict everything, every response, every outcome, then maybe you won't get hurt again. So you start controlling your reactions, your needs, your tune. You start walking on emotional eggshells, trying to manage everyone else's comfort. So you didn't have to face your own discomfort. And you call it peace. It is not peace. It is hypervigilance wearing a smile. And learning survival mode doesn't start with grand garages. It starts with tiny acts of safety. The moments that you choose to be a human, a real one, not a fake version of yourself. The moments where you can say, I'm actually not fine, I'm not okay. And let that silence that follows just be. It's in the way you take a deep breath instead of instantly fixing someone else's pain. It is in the way you stay present when your first instinct is to run. It's in the way you let someone see you cry without apologizing. That is healing. That is your body learns that it is safe now, that you didn't have to perform to be loved. And then, let me tell you, when you stop living in survival mode, you will grieve the years you spent hiding. You will grieve that version of yourself who kept everyone else safe except herself. And that grief will feel like breaking. But I promise that is actually like becoming. Because the moment you stop surviving, you start living. You start laughing again, not because you're fine, but because you're free. You start feeling again. Even though it misses, it is real. You start letting people in. Not the version of you that is perfect, but the version of you that is human. The one who is scared, but still who show up. Healing doesn't mean you will never go back to survival mode. You will. When things get uncertain, your mind will whisper again, hey, hide again. But this time, you won't do it. You know it better. You will say, I won't hide myself anymore. I will stand up here. You will remind yourself that you are safe right now. And slowly, your body starts to believe you. And belief means everything. And when you start believing in yourself, the game will change. You will start attracting more positivity. You know that you can do it. And you never ever want to go back where you were before. That is why it is so much important to believe in yourself, to know that you can do it. Let me tell you, you're not behind, you're not broken, you're not weak for needing rest. You're just healing for a lifetime, pretending you don't. And yes, the world doesn't need a perfect version of you, a strong version of you. It needs a true version of you. It needs a real version of you. The one who knows he or she is perfect the way that she or he is. The one that finally knows you're not hard to be loved. You're just learning to love yourself in a world that taught you to disappear. You're safe. You don't have to perform anymore. You're enough. You matter. And if you want to know how to believe in yourself, do not forget to watch this video. I wish you all the best. See you in the next video. Until next video. Bye bye.